Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Amber and I'm so glad you've joined me today for my weekly weigh-in. If you'll remember last Wednesday, I hopped on the scale and I was 186.0. It's been a tumultuous week with a lot of back pain and that sort of thing, resting here and there. I did get on the Zaz machine a couple times, did some gardening. Last night, hubby and I actually took a walk, but that really aggravated my back because we have a slight decline and then in the neighborhood, and then I had to come back up. So yeah, should not have done that. I tell you, the spirit is willing, but the body is like, no. Nevertheless, we trudge on. Hopped on the scale today, and what did it say? 186.0. Which, you know what, I'm good with that. I'm good with a maintain. And the reason is because there have been days this last week I was 187. So, and yet the other day I was 185.8. But today, 186.0. I will take it. I am making changes, steadily adjusting to my health and wellness journey. And I'm sure you guys are too, especially if you're on a long-term weight loss journey or just trying to be more healthy in general. There's always things that we could do maybe a little bit better as we learn more, as we read more. And I hope you're joining me for my upcoming series. Well, I did yesterday the first installment of the book. You see on my Post-its? Let Food Be Your Medicine by Dr. Don Colbert. I am going to be sharing little excerpts from that book and a little commentary, but I'm definitely making some changes as a result of reading that. You know, I've known, 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with a rare aggressive cancer, and then I had another surgery, and then that turned out, they removed 10 lymph nodes, turned out that they had removed all of the cancer in the previous surgery. I had 3 surgeries. So thank God, I am a living miracle, you guys, to the grace and mercy of God. But during that whole ordeal, I learned that sugar feeds cancer cells. And so I've known this for 5 years. I've known it for a while. But reading it in Dr. Colbert's book really drove the point home that I need to eliminate as much sugar from my diet as possible. So if you joined me yesterday for my video, you heard me say that I have packed up my sugar dish. No more sugar in my morning coffee, you guys. Yep, put the sugar away. This isn't one that we use every day, but bought it for hubby's camping trip one time. But put the sugar away because not only does it feed cancer, but we know that it fuels many diseases, honestly. It is not good even for high blood pressure. I was reading that the other day, and that's an amazing association. But yeah, I mean, that stands to reason, right? All the sugar drives your blood pressure up because your heart has to work harder to process it. And of course, diabetes and all of that. So what have I been using? Well, I've been using stevia in the raw. So I was all prepared to tell you about how wonderful this was. So then I put my glasses on because that's the first step. And I read the ingredients. And it says dextrose in there. And I was like, I'm pretty sure with the suffix OSE, that's sugar. So sure enough, I Googled it, and yes, it says it is a derivative, dextrose is a derivative from corn, which I'm also trying to eliminate from my diet because they say like 88% of all corn now is GMO, genetically modified, which messes with our hormones and is really not good. So yeah, I have only made this switch like a few days ago, but we're gonna finish up this box. Hubby's using it too because he's pre-diabetic, although we got him side note, bunny trail. We got him a glucometer. My daughter, who is graduating from nursing school in December, she came over and showed him how to use the strips and all of that and the lancets. And he tested the other day and his blood sugar was actually really good. So he's lost now maybe 26 pounds, something like that. I think so. I'll have to double check with him to give you an accurate report next week, but he's doing so well. He's so determined to get out of the diabetes woods and he's feeling so much better. I can tell he has more energy too because he feels better. So yeah, I was all, bunny trail aside, I was all prepared to tell you how wonderful this was until I learned that it has dextrose. So there is a brand, upon further research, called CC Naturals, CC Nature. I saw on Amazon, and it is organic stevia, and it is just stevia. So I ordered some of that, and it will come in a few days. So that is what I plan to be using from now on. So, you know, surprise, surprise, you got to read all the labels. Things you think are healthy, but they throw in other things. Yeah, so now I'm really reading the labels on everything, but this further reinforces my decision to eat foods in closest to their natural state as possible. Clean eating. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the differences with using the stevia versus the sugar. I would say my morning coffee is pretty much the only thing that I would add sugar to right now. And yeah, I think that's the only thing. I mentioned in yesterday's video that I am no longer using or consuming ketchup. And of course that has a lot of sugar and corn syrup. Corn syrup is actually, I don't know, I think it's worse for you than sugar. Frankly, but yeah, I'm using my pretty much my oil and vinegar, if anything, and that's just like a little drop. Oh, and I did want to make a little correction. Last week I mentioned that my caloric intake was somewhere between 1,000 and 1,100 calories a day. It was for a few days last week. However, as a rule, I am usually somewhere between probably 1,200 to 1,400 calories. And I started a new book. It's called the Mayo Clinic Diet, 2nd edition. If you caught my Goodwill haul, it was in there. But it actually mentions that the starting point in their diet or lifestyle for weight loss is 1,200 calories. So we know that that is totally healthy. So just wanted to reassure you guys that I am not starving myself. I would never let that happen. I eat a variety of the rainbow of fruits and vegetables, mostly a lot of vegetables. And of course I consume a good bit of protein, which I have recently increased my protein, especially at lunchtime, because that was an area where I kind of was slacking a little bit with my protein. So yeah, increasing my protein. And that has two benefits. One, it helps your metabolism, which in turn helps your weight loss. And then it helps to build muscle, which is so important during, especially during weight loss, because when we lose weight, a lot of times that weight is pulled from muscle. And so we've got to reinforce the muscle that our body has. So yeah, proteins, so important. Encourage you guys. I know, especially for us women, we tend to sometimes skimp on the protein. It's not a natural thing that I crave, I have to say. Maybe some people do, but I've never been that way. But I'm making myself be intentional about my protein intake. So another thing I wanted to mention is this monk fruit. So I have these, We were out on a walk last night, like I said, and my neighbor stopped me and she had a whole bag of goodies, and these were in it, along with 2 big bottles of olive oil, some granola, which I'll give to my daughter, and some other things. She had like 3 packages of some sort of kind of all-purpose seasoning, but it had MSG in it, so I'm not using that because I stay away from that because that's not good. But yeah, monk fruit, I've tried it in the past. This is a brand called Sweet Leaf. And some of the reviews, this one is vanilla, so they have flavors now, you guys. And then I guess this is original. Some of the reviews for this say that it's watered down. But, you know, I thought actually these are good for traveling too. Put in your, you know, bag or purse. You know, whether it's something that I continue with, I don't know. I've tried it in the past, wasn't really impressed, but you know what? I'm at a different place right now than I was. I used to turn my nose up at stevia too. But you know, funny the things that you're willing to do, in order to pursue good health. So we'll see how this goes. So that is one change, one big change that I'm making. The other change would be that I am trying to go as much as I can gluten-free. That doesn't mean probably everything, but that means no longer consuming crackers. And that was kind of a big snack or lunch thing for me. So no more Triscuit Thin Crisp crackers, no more Goldfish. I've packed them all up and given them away. Funny, hubby thought he was doing me a favor and he brought home some Quaker, they were cheddar little rice cake little snacks in a big bag. So I read the label and of course, what does it have in it? MSG. It's everywhere. And I wouldn't have selected the snack because usually those prepackaged things, they have MSG in them because it's a flavor enhancer. But excuse me, it's not good for you. It was kind of him. I told him I really did appreciate him thinking of me, however, but that wouldn't be something that I would continue to purchase. But that was sweet of him because the package said gluten-free, so he thought of me. All right, so we have been on a 12-week series, and I'm kind of calling this our 12 keys to healthy weight loss and healthy living. So just a quick review of what we've been talking about this is our 6th installment. So if you've missed any of the last 6 weeks, I encourage you to go back and watch some of those videos as they might be an encouragement to you. So the first one was mindset. Then we talked about sleep. We talked about clean eating, exercise, balance. That was last week, which I really enjoyed that. I don't know if you guys did, but I got a lot out of it, if I do say so myself. And so today we're talking about healthcare. Healthcare as it relates to taking care of yourself and following up on any doctor's appointments that you might need to schedule or, you know, actually go to. So, you know, this includes primary care, GYN, your mammogram, lab work, eye doctor, dentist, cardiologist, dermatologist, endocrinologist, mental health specialist, massage therapist, nails, hair, and self-care. I had to read that. So yeah, take care of yourself, take care of your appointments. You are worth it. You know, it does not benefit us to bury our heads in the sand and do nothing or just a delay, because usually when that happens, any underlying issues that we might have, they further compound over time. So you don't want to let that happen. Take care of yourself. Preventative care is definitely the way to go. So encourage you to do that. I myself have some appointments coming up. Let's see, next month I will have my annual CT scan. just to make sure that the cancer has not returned. And then I will have my appointment at the cancer center in, next month as well. So that is my next to the last appointment at the cancer center. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm ready for that chapter to be behind me. So yeah, definitely encourage you to make all of those appointments that you need to. Take care of yourself, like we talked about in last week's video. Take care of your mental health, spend some time outside. Vitamin D is a very powerful thing, and it's good for our mental health as well. Just to kind of mix things up, enjoy the blue sky, the clouds, everything that God has made, the plants, the flowers. It is a beautiful time of year. It is very hot. It's hot here. It's been like 91 to 92 degrees here in sunny Florida for, I don't know, I think since May, it feels like. I'm ready for, if we could just have some 80s, that would be really nice. But I wanted to leave you with a scripture. I was just reading in Isaiah chapter 40, and I'm kind of doing a word study on Fear Not Scriptures, which is an awesome study to do. Google it, Fear Not Bible verses, Fear Not Scriptures. I guarantee you it will be an encouragement to you. So verse 12 says, "Who has measured the oceans in the palm of his hand? Who has used his hand to measure the sky? Who has used a bowl to measure all the dust of the earth and scales to weigh the mountains and the hills? And who has known the mind of the Lord, or been able to give him advice? Whom did he ask for help? Who taught him the right way? Who taught him knowledge and showed him the way to understanding? The nations are like one small drop in a bucket. They are no more than the dust on his measuring scales. To him, the islands are no more than fine dust on his scales. Compared to the Lord, all the nations are worth nothing. To him, they are less than nothing." Can you compare God to anything? Can you compare him to an image of anything? And then it goes on to kind of describe some possible images. God sits on his throne above the circle of the earth, and compared to him, people are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the skies like a piece of cloth and spreads them out like a tent to sit under. He makes rulers unimportant and the judges of this world worth nothing. They are like plants that are placed in the ground, like seeds that are planted. As soon as they begin to grow strong, he blows on them and they die, and the wind blows them away like chaff. God, the Holy One, says, "Can you compare me to anyone? Is anyone equal to me? Look up to the skies." We were just talking about that. Who created all these stars? He leads them out. He leads out the army of heaven one by one and calls all the stars by name. Because he is strong and powerful, not one of them is missing. Surely you know, surely you have heard, the Lord is the God who lives forever. Amen. Who created all the world. He does not become tired or need to rest. No one can understand how great his wisdom is. He gives strength to those who are tired and more power to those who are weak. Even children become tired and need to rest, and young people trip and fall. But the people who trust the Lord will become strong again. They will rise up as an eagle in the sky. They will run and not need rest. They will walk and not become tired. I love that. So if you're feeling tired today, maybe physically, maybe emotionally, maybe all of the above, seek strength, seek refuge in our Heavenly Father. I encourage you to spend some time in prayer and read his word and ask him to speak to you. And I know he is faithful to do just that. So I hope you have a wonderful, healthy week, and I will see you soon. God bless.